Have you ever wondered if there's a connection between the Bible and spellcasting? The gates of our secret garden are now open. Welcome to the monastery lost in the woods, that hidden place where you and me are going to sit together and have a chat in peace. Tonight, under a full moon. We are going to talk about how the Bible is used to cast spells. An intriguing question for sure, that invites us to explore the mysterious crossroads where spirituality meets the metaphysical. The Bible, a cornerstone of faith for millions, is a repository of wisdom, guidance, and yes, perhaps even magic. It's a book that has been interpreted in countless ways over the centuries, its words offering solace, inspiration, and sometimes a hint of the mystical. Now consider spellcasting, the art of manifesting intentions through rituals and incantations. It's a practice often misunderstood, shrouded in mystery and sometimes controversy. But what if these two seemingly distinct worlds aren't as separate as they appear? What if the Bible, with its myriad symbols, stories and rituals, holds the keys to spellcasting, enabling us to tap into its mystical potential for healing, protection or guidance? It's a tantalizing prospect, isn't it? So, let's delve into the historical context of spellcasting within the Bible. The Bible, as we know, is filled with stories of miracles and divine interventions. But did you know that these tales often feature rituals, prayers, or incantations that some interpret as forms of spellcasting? Let's delve into the historical context to understand this better. Take a look at the Old Testament. The Israelites were known for their rich tradition of rituals and prayers. For instance, the book of Exodus narrates the story of Moses performing miracles through a series of specific actions and words, like turning a staff into a snake or parting the Red Sea. Some argue that these acts can be seen as spellcasting, as they involved specific rituals to invoke divine power. In the New Testament, we see Jesus performing miracles, often accompanied by prayers or specific actions. The feeding of the 5,000, the healing of the blind, and even the resurrection of Lazarus all involve specific words or actions that can be interpreted as spells. Even King Solomon, renowned for his wisdom, is associated with a collection of magical rituals known as the Key of Solomon. These rituals, though not directly mentioned in the Bible, are deeply rooted in the Judeo-Christian tradition and have been interpreted as spells for invoking angelic powers or achieving divine wisdom. Moreover, the Bible is rife with symbolism and metaphors which have been interpreted in various ways. For instance, the 7 seals in the book of Revelation have been associated with various mystical interpretations and spellcasting practices. However, it is essential to note that these interpretations vary greatly. What may be seen as a spell to some might simply be a prayer to others. The line often blurs between prayer, ritual and spellcasting, depending on one's perspective and cultural or religious context. As we've seen, the Bible is not devoid of elements that could be interpreted as spellcasting. The historical context provides a fascinating backdrop to this discussion, indicating that our ancestors too sought divine intervention through what we might call spells today. Symbols and passages in the Bible have often been interpreted to have magical or mystical significance. From the very beginning, the Bible uses symbolism as a way to convey deeper truths. Take, for instance, the book of Genesis. The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is steeped in symbolic imagery. The tree of knowledge, the serpent, the forbidden fruit. These symbols have been interpreted in numerous ways, some even suggesting they represent ancient rituals or spells for gaining wisdom and enlightenment. Then there's the story of Moses parting the Red Sea. This incredible feat, seen by many as a miracle, has also been interpreted by some as a powerful spell or ritual for overcoming obstacles. The staff of Moses in this context could be viewed as a magical tool used to harness divine power. In the New Testament, the miracles performed by Jesus Christ are often associated with incantations or spells. The transformation of water into wine at the wedding at Cana or the healing miracles are seen by some as examples of spellcasting. The words Jesus spoke during these events are considered by some to be powerful incantations. These interpretations are not universally accepted, of course. They come from various cultural and religious contexts. In some traditions, such as certain branches of Gnostic Christianity or esoteric Judaism, these biblical symbols and stories are seen as allegories for mystical or magical practices. In others, they are viewed purely as miracles, divine interventions, free from human influence. Interestingly, interpretations can also be influenced by translations. The original Hebrew and Greek texts of the Bible contain nuances that can offer different perspectives when translated into other languages. This can lead to a variety of interpretations, some of which may lean towards the mystical. These interpretations, while varying, all point to a possible link between the Bible and spellcasting. They show us how rich and multifaceted the Bible is, and remind us that there are many ways to engage with and understand this sacred text. Spellcasting within the framework of religious beliefs is not without its ethical considerations. Indeed, the concept of spellcasting, especially within the context of the Bible, can spark a flurry of ethical questions. The Bible, for many, is a sacred text that guides moral and ethical conduct. It's a source of spiritual wisdom, teaching individuals about love, compassion, forgiveness, and justice. Now, when we introduce the idea of using this holy book for spellcasting, it's only natural to question whether this aligns with the teachings and ethics promoted within its pages. There are varied viewpoints on this matter. Some argue that spellcasting is simply a form of prayer, an intense concentration of intention and belief. They see it as a way to connect deeper with the divine, to manifest desires that are in line with spiritual growth and the greater good. From this perspective, spellcasting is seen as an extension of one's faith, a tool to facilitate communication with God. On the other hand, there are those who believe that spellcasting is a manipulation of divine power, an attempt to control or influence outcomes that should be left in God's hands. They argue that it contradicts the biblical teachings of humility and surrender to divine will. There's also the concern about the intention behind the spell. The Bible emphasizes the importance of love and kindness, so any spell cast with the intention to harm others or for selfish gain could be seen as ethically wrong. Then we have those who sit on the fence, acknowledging that the ethics of spellcasting can depend on the context. They argue that if the spell is cast with good intentions, for purposes such as healing, protection or guidance, and done so respectfully without infringing on the free will of others, it could be considered ethically acceptable. These differing viewpoints highlight the need to approach the subject with sensitivity and open-mindedness. It's essential to respect the beliefs of others, even if they differ from our own. As you can see, the ethical implications of spellcasting in relation to the Bible are complex and multifaceted. If we were to practice spellcasting, how would it look like? Imagine using the words of the Bible, not for any malicious intent, but to channel positivity into our lives and the lives of others. The Bible is abundant with passages that inspire healing, protection, and guidance. These passages can be seen as spells, ways to manifest our intentions into reality. In practicing spellcasting with the Bible, it's crucial to remember the importance of ethical conduct. We must respect the free will of others, never using these practices to manipulate or control. Just as the Bible teaches us to love our neighbors, so too should our intentions in spellcasting reflect this principle. Think about it, a prayer for healing. Could that not be seen as a spell? A verse recited for protection, is that not an incantation? The practice of spellcasting, when done with positive intentions, can align with the teachings of the Bible. There are many misconceptions about spellcasting and its relationship to the Bible. Let's tackle a couple of these head-on. One common stereotype is that spellcasting is inherently evil or associated with dark forces. However, historical and religious scholarship tells us that spellcasting, in its many forms, has been practiced across cultures and religions for centuries, often with positive and healing intentions. The Bible itself contains examples of prayer and ritual that could be interpreted as forms of spellcasting. Another prevalent myth is that the Bible explicitly prohibits spellcasting. While certain passages discourage divination or sorcery, these terms carry specific historical and cultural connotations that may not align with our modern understanding of spellcasting. Many scholars and practitioners argue that ethical spellcasting, guided by love and respect, can indeed align with biblical teachings. With accurate information, we can dispel the myths surrounding spellcasting and the Bible. For those interested in exploring this topic further, there are many resources available. I'd recommend delving into works such as The Bible as Dream, a Jungian interpretation by Murray Stein, and The Encyclopedia of Jewish Myth, Magic and Mysticism by Jeffrey W. Dennis. These offer insightful perspectives on the mystical elements within the Bible. For an ethical exploration, Magic and Paganism in Early Christianity by Hans Josef Klock is a thought-provoking read. And if you're keen on practical application, The Book of Spells, Positive Enchantments to Enhance Your Life by Jamie Deller provides a wonderful guide. On a personal note, my journey with spellcasting and the Bible has been one of discovery and introspection. It's a path that has led me to deeper understandings of the texts and their potential to influence our lives in positive ways. I've found a profound sense of peace and purpose in this practice. I invite you to share your own experiences and perspectives on this fascinating topic. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, like and subscribe. For a more personal connection, please visit our Patreon community, links available under this episode's notes. The gates of our secret garden are now closed.